Greetings, Capricorns. Thank you for joining me. This is your full moon eclipse reading in Sagittarius, which occurs tonight. So anyone, I guess, in the southern hemisphere, we should be able to see it if the clouds aren't too heavy. I don't think parts of the northern hemisphere maybe. Not exactly sure about specific parts of the world, but these sorts of things always excite me. And it is, as we enter eclipse season. Anyway, let's get your reading out here. Let's have a look for lovely Capricorns. Shortened Celtic cross if you've not tuned in before. We look at the central position, the basis, what's behind you. I'm going to lay them out here. They're all face down, but I like to let them jump. Current position for Capricorn. Capricorn, the pipes are calling. And moving forward, please, for lovely Capricorn. Okay, let's turn them up. We'll start. Let's have a wee look. So the central point, which is where you're at. Oh my God. Prince of Wands. We come out with Prince of Wands. This fiery, icy character. Very changeable, moving quite quickly. Quite a sexy sort of creature. I do think this is in relation to, attractability or something that's appeared for you, Capricorn, or cross watchers, or whatever way you want to look at it, if this resonates for you. I say this because it is crossed by the Ace of Cups, a card of consummate bounty in terms of matters of the heart, emotions, that kind of thing. But we'll find out a little bit more as we go through. And of course, clarify as well, Capricorn. The basis of this, wow, is another ace. The Ace of Discs. I love this card because it actually appears to be three-dimensional when you look at it in certain light. So, these two aces we come out with, emotional abundance, material abundance. Look, this is pretty, it's like at this point in time, looking at this, it's like you've just had a major life transformation. You've moved into your dream environment and you've got all these suitors coming at you all at once. Anyway, let's continue. What's behind you? Oh my God. And these are face down. The Lovers. So there was a choice that was made here. There was a choice made. I mean, the Lovers is about integration. It's about yin-yang. It's about understanding your dual nature, the dualities of life. With every choice made, there's always gain. There's always we let something go as well. You know what I mean? So very interesting, Capricorn. Your position currently, well, indeed, there is this Four of Wands here, this stable, ultimate, happy domestic life is really what this card is about. The double 11s on some cards represented, in some cards the garlands across the gate, the homecoming, the happy home. It's a really safe and secure place. It's a wonderful place to be in. It's a wonderful place to be in. I mean, ideally, it's what we all want, isn't it? Wow, it's like you've been showered with gifts. I mean, cosmic gifts, Capricorn. Oh, now, moving forward, what's this? There's always a little spanner that comes in to shake the works up. We get the 5 of Discs, which is a card of, I just can't help but, I'm not laughing about this. I can't help but see with this 5 of, what did I say? It's the 5 of Discs, which is really a card of, it is a card of lack. It's a card of always taking the back seat, always taking the crumbs, remaining outside of the warmth, it's that kind of thing, which can be, in a really material way, or it can be settling for second, third, fourth best, or whatever it is. It's a card of lack. It's a mindset. But what I see here more in terms of the cards that are here at this current time, before we clarify, is that possibly like you're in a really amazing position, but there's some aspect of it that is still feeling to you, Capricorn. I do see just in the cards that it's not quite enough. It's not quite enough. There's something missing here for you. I'm not saying there is something missing. It's just that's what the card's saying. It is a bountiful reading. It is gifts galore. Security. It's like you made a choice to come into this. And this is a wonderful, secure, it's a wonderful place to be. But for some reason, this is lurking around there. So let's just clarify for Capricorn here. I'm kind of staring at that Ace of Cups because it's such an amazing card. This bountiful emotional, resources that you have to shape and form in whatever way you choose. It's the same with the base of this, the Ace of Discs, to shape and form in whatever form you so choose. The Ace of Cups, please, for Capricorn. I'll get something to jump. Oh, too many. Ace of Cups, please, in the central point for Capricorn. It is a gift, is it not? It is a gift, yes, it is a gift. It is a gift. We get the 4 of Cups coming out. Another very secure, probably not the right word. We don't, this ace comes through from the divine, and our connection with the divine exists within us, remember. Sometimes these things come to us in a shape or a form that we don't quite recognize, because that's not part. Oh, go away, little fly. I've got the doors open, you see. Because it doesn't appear in the way, in whatever form that we're used to with the 4 of Cups. And so we might not necessarily see it for what it is, or see it full stop. So that's kind of interesting. If this was some sort of romantic, for want of a better word, reading, I would see the Prince of Wands in the centre here. as a kind of character, either aspects of yourself or someone who is offering you, who comes sort of bejeweled with many different cups and is offering you all of it, but it doesn't make sense to you because you don't recognize them, you know. Or the Prince of Wands is a character that you have aspects within yourself. He is hot and cold and passionate, yet can disappear at any time, is all there and then gone again, you know what I mean? So let's keep going. The basis of this reading is the Ace of Discs, another card of another gift, actually, of abundance. Just get one card to jump. Ace of Discs, please, for lovely Capricorn. Is this taking shape? We get the Seven of Swords. There's a level of indecision here, I think. The Seven of Swords is something I always say we often do to ourselves. Now, in relation to a gift like the Ace, do we see ourselves as deserving of it or something, or not? Interesting, the Seven. I'm going to leave that there at the base and we'll look at the current... No, we'll look at the Lovers. This choice that was made in this position is just behind you, so one would assume... interesting. We get two cards coming out for that. A choice, yes, a choice. So we get what is in effect the Prince of Discs. A slow release card. A card of time and chipping away. Chip, chip, chip. Working, 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 working. And I'd say too that slow release here. It's like nitrogen in the soil. Just sort of, you know, doing its thing. And with that we get the Queen of Swords. No mucking around, straight down the middle. This is quite confusing me. This is confusing me, Capricorn, to be honest. So we've got this... We've got what we see as, I don't know, it's kind of interesting. It's like everything is there. You're sort of surrounded by everything, but it's more of a mindset that's holding you back somehow, if you are being held back or you feel like you haven't sort of achieved enough or something. It's quite... yeah, interesting. Anyway, Four of Wands, please, for Capricorn. Four of Wands. Oh my God, we get the Ace. Another gift. What we do with our resources is something that that I sort of hear here. What do we do with our resources? It's like this thing of being absolutely sort of bombarded with bounty, but it's almost never enough, or you don't see it as bounty. I don't know. That's what I get from it. Anyway, sorry Capricorn, we can't choose these things. The cards do what they do. Let's just have a look at maybe the Five of Discs moving forward can tell us something about this kind of lack, this feelings have been left in the cold. It's almost the It's almost one thing to receive something, isn't it? But it's another thing to take it and shape it in ways that are conducive to our needs or our wants, isn't it? 5 of discs, please, for Capricorn here. It's moving forward. What is the slack? Oh, look. Yeah, it's maybe a slight... we get the Fool coming out. I mean, one would immediately just say lack of freedom. You know, it's such a bountiful collection of things, but, you know, as soon as the Fool came out, it's like, well, maybe there's something suffocating about this. I don't know, Capricorn. You know, clearly you have all these wonderful resources around you, wonderful resources. And maybe it's a case of utilising them and maybe a new way, a different way than what you have done thus far. Maybe it's time for some small changes there. But generally you're in a fabulous position. And it's interesting, I think that's the first reading I've ever done where I look at it and it's like, well, maybe not first. I look at it and think, what? Like, there's so many aces in it. We'll get a Brian Frood card. Just looking at the four of what am I saying? 4 of Cups in the central point, please. Pixies and Fairies from the Fairy Oracle. It's a beautiful little deck. I've had it for a long time. So what can my fairy friends tell us, Capricorn, here? Let's see. Wow, we've got 3 coming out all at once. 3 coming out all at once. We have, we've got to take note of the details here, you know. We get the micromancer, who is kind of like an accountant. Not only does he observe and see the entire picture, but, you know, like a jigsaw puzzle, you know, but he sees in detail every puzzle within that, every piece of that puzzle, that jigsaw. And it's life, isn't it? Like seeing the detail and keeping a ledger on it. Weighing it up. I mean, it's still really, it still is quite elusive, this reading. Like the micromancer, it's about, you know, the devil is in the detail. These 3 came out all at once. Then we have Soulless, the solar force. This is action. This is empowerment. It's God force source, whatever that is for you. Being completely empowered. I love that card. It's quite, it always reminds me of Daniel Craig, you know, the actor. It always reminds me of him with those really blue eyes. So this total empowerment through attention to detail, you might say. Then we get the journeyman, which is setting off anew, just like the Fool, really, uninhibited, not burdened by anything. You know, the other thing about this reading is it's like a case of having of having all these amazing, wonderful things, being in a great position, but still feeling an internal lack. And the remedy to that is sort of represented by the Fool and by the Journeyman. The remedy to that lack is allowing yourself more freedom, Capricorn. So if this resonates for someone out there, that's fantastic. But that sort of sums it up, you know. So now let's see if the old Journey Map deck can give us just one card for Capricorn, please. Excuse me. One card for Capricorn. Just one card. So this reading, interesting, very interesting. Very interesting, yeah. Look, we get Fortuna, which is about, you know, pearls, how it takes a little bit of irritation, of grit, for a beautiful pearl over a long period of time to come into form. And we have many of these pearls, you know, that sort of manifested over time. We have them within ourselves. It's a sort of element. You could say it's our imprint. It's like a essence. It's unique to every individual. A unique essence. Call it soul, spirit, psyche, whatever you want to call it. And it's unique to everybody. We then have the monast, which is about being able to really have one foot in one world and one in the other. This is about, this card is really about, and on one level, an integration of soul and psyche. That we work with ourselves, others, with the world, in order to gain this sort of balance between soul and psyche. The monast, see his graduation. We have a little grasshopper on his shoulder, a very bonsai-looking tree in the background. He keeps things ticking over, but his home, his quiet space, it's like, how do I balance this out? How do I put these practices into, or put these certain things into practice in my life where it calms me, like meditation or something like that. How do I do this and yet still be very active and get things moving? And how do I keep these two things going, and how do I keep myself balanced? This is really what the monast is about. But we need to, of course, we always need to, like literally whatever's around you. The thing is, you can be upturned, things can change dramatically. And if you do not have an internal home, like this internal core, I think sometimes you're always dissatisfied. Doesn't matter what you have around you, kind of thing. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying that's you, Capricorn, but this reading is sort of about that. It's as if you're coming to some conclusion here. Look, it's a really it's a really interesting reading. I'll just get a little star card, Capricorn. I'll just get a little star card for you. Yeah. Trust, if need be, offer to source for clarity and relief. And I must say that this is a wonderful option that we all have, and it works. We just ask. That's all. Yeah, and I think in these times, you know, that humans, you know, we have become more sort of hypersensitized, I suppose. And we are entering, I mean, look at technology. It is so invisible and fast, you know, that it's like we're evolving with it. Certainly more psychic, more on a psychic, enhanced psychically, I suppose, as humans sort of evolve alongside technology with it as the creators of it, but it takes a life of its own as well, or it has a life of its own as well. It's sort of like, well, who's driving who? Who's leading who? So I don't know why I'm talking about that, but anyway, so thank you, Capricorn. Thank you very much. I was getting a bit lost. Going on a bit, I should say. Take care. Enjoy if you can see it. If you're in the southern hemisphere, look up to that beautiful moon, if you can. And yeah. Okay. Oh no. Well, you can look up at it anyway, wherever you are in the world. But take care. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Cheers, Capricorn. Bye. Doodle.